All right. Hey guys, welcome back to some crypto interest content. We'll talk about BTC. We'll take a look at BTC gold short, and we'll talk about also the BTC USD price action and all that good stuff. Okay. So now let's go ahead and dive into the analysis. We're going to start off with the BTC USD chart before we talk about the BTC gold chart, right? And also we will take a look at PAXG USD, I mean PAXG BTC, right? And all that good stuff, right? So let's dive into the analysis regarding the BTC prices on a lower degree. Okay, so if we take a look at BTC on a daily basis, we can see like we getting another bullish crossover on our MACD. So if you guys recall the first MACD crossover we got right here, I was saying, okay, it is not time to flip bullish yet, even though we got a bullish crossover. So what happened was like we pushed back up from our 46k area support and pumped back up to our 52k area resistance and dumped to the downside. And the second crossover right here, the negative crossover, some of the bulls, they started to draw a line and say, hey, we could be going higher because, we could anticipate a potential bullish crossover right here, right? Another bullish crossover by basically drawing a trend line. I was like, it is too soon, right? To draw a bullish trend line and all that good stuff, okay? You better wait because you just don't know if you're going to get a horizontal trend line support on your MACD instead of getting a upward sloping trend line support, right? So, and as you can see, as I said previously, we dumped lower down to our secondary target, which was like a 40975, and got another bullish crossover again, and bulls started to do what? Bulls started to be bullish, and I was like, okay, guys, remember we got another support to the downside, all the way down to our weekly 100 EMA, just about like a 35K. Okay, so bulls did not believe it, and guess what? BTC dumped lower. Okay, now I can't ignore. Okay, if you guys remember, I didn't like the first crossover. I didn't like the bullishness, right, regarding the trend line. I didn't like the second crossover right here. However, I'm starting to like, okay, the third crossover right here, and the reason for that is like, the first bullish crossover right here created its own bullishness. Okay, and ever since we broke out to the downside, right, now we can rely, okay, on the first crossover right there and try to join these two basically bullish crossovers, right? So we broke out right here, dumped to the downside, okay, got another crossover, dumped to the downside. Now we're creating a potential longer term, okay, bullishness right there. It doesn't mean, once again, BTC will be pushing to the upside as of now, because we can still dump lower, right? But we will need our MACD to stay positive. Remember, your MACD can flip positive, and price action can retest the lows without MACD crossing negative. We've seen it multiple times. Okay, a good example is like right here. Okay, and that's the same example I gave you guys back in December, and I told you, like, even though we got the bullishness right here, the bullish crossover, you can see like after that we dump what? We dump nearly over 20%. Okay, and we pump back up and still dump what? Another 27%. So just because we got a potential bullishness, right, right here, doesn't mean we cannot retest the lows. And if you guys recall, on the weekly basis, I've been saying like the weekly 100 EMA, right, will be what? Will be a strong support. Okay, and that's our second week. Okay, we staying above the weekly 100 EMA. We talked about it, guys, when BTC was at 52. So it is not like, we waited till BTC dropped, okay, down below 40K, and we started to call 35K. We called for 35K from 52. 407, 40975 was our first target. Secondary target, 37 to 35 monthly 21 EMA, down to the weekly 100 EMA, and we hit both target beautifully and even lower. So now, if we go back to the daily time frame, the only thing we will need over the next like a few days is like just to keep the MACD to cross. Okay, I mean, it is already positive. Okay, we just need the MACD to stay positive, regardless of what the regardless of what the price action will do. Even if we make a a lower low and all that good stuff, MACD has to stay positive, and it has to basically trend upward, right, while we basically making low lows. If that's the case, that's going to be a very, very bullish sign. And the only way we can do that is like with high volatility. What I mean by that, it means like price action can dump lower, but it won't close at lower prices. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, your MACD, it is a lagging indicator. It is what, it is based on closing basis, not lows. You see what I'm saying? So even if BTC drops down to like 30K and doesn't close below 30K, our daily MACD won't cross negative. Okay, depending on where we cross that. So it is something to remember. Okay, and another thing to keep an eye on. Right, let me take a look at the chat room, right, before we talk about the RSI, because it is going to be quite important to keep an eye on the RSI and all that good stuff, right? So we got John J in the house. Hex, want to talk about Hex? We got Quiet Cook in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Oh, Jude Moonboy XRP 589. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Mr. I String Man, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And John J. So now our RSI, okay? The RSI, it is not giving any sign of bullishness. It is just, moving around. So we could potentially, okay, if price action right there dumps lower, right, we could get our RSI to give us what? A bullishness, okay, a potential divergence, similar to what we had right there. Okay, we just don't know the shape, the type of shape or form, but all we want to see is like a bullish divergence. It doesn't matter even if we get a double bottom. If we get a double bottom, it means like volatility going to be pretty extensive. Okay, meaning like it has to dump much lower, for the RSI to dump down to like a 20 again. But regardless of what the RSI, will do, we just want to see what a divergence over the next like a few days going into what mid-February. So I'm not looking for a reversal like end of January, like a January 30, 31st and all that good stuff, or the first week of February. If we can stay above 30K, okay, even if we can retest like 30K, it's okay. It doesn't matter, right? As of now, if we're looking for a big reversal to the upside all the way up to 100K and all that good stuff, I don't think like it matters between like a 35 and 30K, right? But if we can stay above 30K at least, okay, for the month of February, that could be great. Because I don't see, once again, myself, okay, that's my own opinion, I don't see Bitcoin dropping 10K every month. Do you see what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons, I was saying like if we hit the weekly 100 EMA, bulls most likely going to be stepping in. Because remember, we dumped like nearly 20,000 points, right, between December and January. All right, December right here, right, on a weekly basis, right? Let's take a look at it on the 3D, right? That's December right there, right? So December we dumped like nearly 30%. Like we dumped from like a 60K nearly all the way down to a 42. That's 20,000 points just in December, right? And what happened after that? We moved sideways. So if you don't understand what's going on, you might be like, oh, we're going to be dumping down to 30K. We already dumped 20,000 points, okay? And if you take a look at it in January, right there, right, we dumped nearly another 27 or nearly 30%, guys. In December and January, guys, we dumped 30%. That's a lot. Okay, I don't expect BTC to dump like 30% every month. So just imagine, okay, we dump 30% in, let's say, February. Okay, let's just imagine like tomorrow is February and price is open right around like a 38. So 30% dump will take us right around like 26. So could you imagine, okay, BTC dropping 30% every single month? So I don't see BTC dropping 30% every single month. Okay. So it means like if we drop like let's say like another 20%, it is going to be a good level to accumulate because we haven't seen like a 40% drop in 1 month. So most likely bulls will defend the high 30K, low 30K, excuse me, high 29K and all that good stuff. Okay. So something to keep in mind going forward. If we dump in the first week of February or even second week of February, it means like we will get a low volatility for the rest of the month after that, just like what happened, in January, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC Gold BTC chart. Okay. Hey, what's up, David? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hank in the house. Litecoin Moon Boy. Uh, we got XRP Moon Boy, Litecoin Moon Boy, Moon Boys, right? I don't know where the Moon Girl there. Uh, so now let's go ahead and take a look at Gold BTC chart. Okay. So when you take a look at Gold BTC chart, the first thing you're gonna realize is like it is pretty much the same chart, right? But you got to be cautious. Okay, even though both of these patterns, okay, they look exactly the same, right? In terms of like a resistance and support, there is a big difference. Okay, if you take a look at it right here, the gold, BTC gold chart, right? We did not break out more than like a 0.1%, right, above the April highs right here. The April highs was right around like a 37.1, and right here our November or even like October highs, right, was right around like a 37.4. So not even a 0.1% difference. But if you take a look at it versus USD, the April highs was like right around like a 64, 64, 65, and right there we pumped like over 7, 8%, right? All the way up to like a 69 and all that good stuff. So a big difference, okay? So if you take a look at it in terms of bottoming, back in May, June, July, BTC, the gold the BTC gold chart was making high lows, right? But the BTC USD chart was making, it was making basically some lower lows in this range. Okay, we dumped all the way down to 28.50. But if you take a look at it in terms of gold, right there the low was just about like a 16.23. Right there, the low was right around like a 16.14. And right here, we got another low right around like a 16.23. So we did not basically break the initial low right there. Okay, so it matters a lot. Even if you take a look at it in terms of the bottom formation back in March 2020, right there, BTC, the BTC gold chart retested what? The absolute bottom, right? Right there. Even though the BTC USD chart did not retest like the 3100 support versus gold, we did dump all the way down to the bottom. We did dump all the way down to the bottom. So the reason why I'm showing you, the potential retest of the bottom right here is like we could potentially get a retest of the bottom right there again. Okay, within the next like a few weeks or even like a few months. We just don't know how long it'll take for the bears to strike again. But if we strike down all the way down to like a 16.4 versus gold, right, BTC gold chart, that could potentially mean like BTC will most likely reverse over the next like a few weeks after that. So I'm going to be bullish, if we get a strong reversal right around like a 16.3, 16.4 within the next like a few weeks and all that good stuff. I'm already bullish, okay, when after BTC hit like a 35. It was a buy range at the weekly 100 EMA. But the gold chart, it is just a complementary analysis to basically confirm what we're looking for on a macro view and what type of price action we could anticipate like going into February and March. Okay, so I don't expect BTC to reverse like within the next 2 days. Okay, if we do, great. If you bought at 37, 35, great. Okay, if you're still waiting for 30K, good luck. We could get it. We might not get it. We don't know. Okay, but on average, 30,500 going to be my next macro support to keep an eye on going forward. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at PAXG, BTC. Okay, so if you take a look at PAXG BTC, right, you can see like we got a nice reaccumulation phase right here before the dump. So basically it is the inverse of BTC USD gold chart, okay? But it has a cleaner, it has a cleaner, it has some clean patterns, okay? And in terms of indicators on a 2D basis, you can't miss these type of setups, okay? As you can see right here on our 2D basis, what we getting right now? Not right now, but what we had right here, okay? Right there, a bearish divergence. And I just showed you alt BTC chart, right? Not alt BTC, but the alt dominance. Let's go ahead and take a look at the alt dominance again, so you know exactly what I'm showing you, right? So if you take a look at the alt dominance, right, chart, you can see like that's the same exact pattern, right? We created what on PAXG BTC right there. Okay, so price action was making what? High highs, right? MACD was making what? Lower highs. RSI is making what? It is still making lower highs. Okay, so if we go back to PAXG, right? Right there, right, on our 3D basis, same exact setup, okay? Same exact setup, but only on the 3D, on the 2D basis, okay? 2D up to a 3D basis, right there. Okay, so we got our bearishness, right? Back in May, June, July, right? Price action did what? Dump all the way down. And after we dump, what we created? A bullish divergence. A bullish divergence, right? So as I've been saying, excuse me, as I've been saying over the last few weeks and all that good stuff, right? A 2D bullish divergence, right? And 3D bullish divergence, right? They pretty they pretty they pretty important in terms of like a reversal pattern and all that good stuff. So if you take a look at it right here, beautiful bullish divergence, and what happened? We pump all the way up. But if we take a look at it also in terms of resistance, we almost back to our previous distribution phase right there again. So it means like if PAX G BTC retest like 0.06 0.06 right here, we could start to speculate, okay, about like a BTC finding the bottom, because that was the same exact level where we found our bottom right around like 30K. Okay, so it is going to be a complementary analysis. We already know exactly 30K going to be what a great support. But if we take a look at it in in terms of gold, it basically gives us a more confident, a more confident level to basically say, hey, let's just pay attention to 30K because we might not break out below 30K easily. Okay, so something to keep in mind. So it is dumping right now, but we could find support right around like a 0.044. And all these moving averages, they're already bullish, so I don't think like the dump going to be if it dumps, if it dumps, it is going to be pretty harsh. So it means like BTC pumping. Okay, so if it dumps hard, it means like BTC will pump hard. Okay, so something to basically keep in mind going forward, especially for the month of February. It could be very volatile between 30K and 40K area, depending on depending on volume and all that good stuff. All right. 10K, is 10K perma bear going to be right? I don't think perma bear 10K, Mr. 10K will be right, but we will see. Okay. It could be, but I don't think he will. Okay, I don't think we will see 10K BTC anytime soon, not in 2022. Okay, that's my own personal opinion. I could be wrong, right? Yeah, I think like it is easier to get to 100K than to get to 10K. And I told him like when BTC was at like 30K last year, right? When most bears were looking for like a 25 and all that good stuff, 27, 28. I was like, are you guys crazy, right? BTC at 28, 29, you're waiting for 27, 26. Okay, good luck, okay? Good luck waiting. And they started to flip bullish after BTC broke out above 60K. You see what I'm saying? So you want to join the party, you know, before the popcorn party starts, okay? But after we start like a pump into the upside, and all the bulls, all the bears want to join the party. I've seen like some bears who are turned bullish after we broke out above 64, 65, guys. And those bears been calling for 10K over 10 months or like even 15 months. Since like BTC was at 14K, 20K, they've been calling for a dump down to 10K. Even after we pump all the way up to 50K, they've been saying like, oh, we're gonna dump down to 10K, right? If you call for a number for like 2 years, obviously, okay, at some point market will dump and you're gonna be like, I'm right, okay, but you're going to miss the entire pump from 10K to 60K. People have been making money, staying long, right, buying this alt, buying BTC, and you're going to be calling for like a 10K and all that good stuff for nearly 24 months, okay. So that's pretty bad, okay. Hey, what's up, bye boo, thanks a lot for tuning in. All right, guys. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. So basically, Ether, if you've been following our channel, you know what we called regarding Ether, okay? Since Ether was like above 4,000, we called for, a dump down to 2850, 2650, and then we said, it is going to dump all the way down to the monthly 21 EMA slash weekly 100 EMA to 2200 range. So we nailed all those targets, okay? So what I'm looking at right now is like we don't have yet a reversal pattern on the 3D. However, if the price volatility is high enough, it could push back up to our previous support. Remember, 2850 up to a 3150 was what our support when we were dumping from where? From above 4K. So now if we push back up out of nowhere, it is going to be what? A resistance. So if bulls bought the dip right there below like a 20, 23, 24, or even below 25, if it pumps above like a 2850, 3150 range, that's going to be a level to take profits, okay? Remember, some people only trade the market in one direction, meaning like they only open one position. For instance, like if they're short, they just short, right? But sometimes, you can sell and buy at the same time, okay? You can sell and buy at the same time. So if, bulls bought the dip right here all the way down to 22, next resistance going to be what? 2850, 3150. However, if we basically do not get the enough juice to pump all the way up to a 3150 resistance, right? The next support going to be 1944 to 1771. Okay, that's going to be the temporary support, or even like the bottom support if we anticipating BTC to push much higher after that. Okay, but we will watch the BTC dominance to see if the Ether dominance will be pushing to the upside with the BTC dominance going up and all that good stuff, right? But just to cut it short, resistance 2850, 3150. It could go higher up to the weekly, but I just wanted to I just want to basically simplify it. That way, bulls know exactly what to look for, because 3150 was our previous support. 2850 was also our previous support. So we remember all those price levels, right? So something to keep in mind going into February, especially the first week of February, right? Just in case we get a short-term pop all the way up to 3150. Okay. So now let me go ahead and take a look at the chat room. If you guys have any question, I'm gonna take a look at those alt, and we will go back to BTC after. Can we check RAN? Check RAN BTC. So Rand BTC, it is actually not looking good, right? We got a consolidation on the macro level, right? On the weekly basis, got your double top right here, double bottom right here. So would look for the trend line support right there. Okay, so and wait for the weekly, the weekly MACD to flip positive, especially versus BTC. Okay, because Bitcoin dominance could be pushing to the upside. We will talk about the Bitcoin dominance tomorrow again in details, right? And what we could be looking for and all that good stuff, right? So support area could be all the way down to like 600 sats. Right now it is right around like 900 sats. Okay, weekly crossover right there. Okay, price action is below support area. MACD is negative, so it is not looking that great, right? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at wax. I was bullish on wax a long time ago, right around like a 400 sats to 400 sats to a 500 sats range. Uh, this thing, it has this big wick on most of these chart, so it makes it hard, right, to analyze the chart pretty quickly. So wax, that was our previous buy range, 400 sats to 500 sats, and target was like 1500 sats. That was nearly, guys, over 3x, okay, nearly 4x of pump, and that was a premium target. And I never talk about wax. As soon as we added it on Binance, I was like, okay, I know it is not going to get delisted, anytime soon. So it is most likely going to give us the next pump to the upside. Okay. So right now we got, let's take a look at it on 3D. So the same level of 400 sats to 500 sats going to be our next support in case we basically, in case we basically, retest the previous support right here. Okay, on the 3D we will need our MACD to flip positive. If not, we could be dropping much lower. So basically it is under consolidation again. Okay, if you're lucky enough to quote my loss analysis on it, right, when WAXP was right around like a 400 500 range, you got your nice 250% gain and reaccumulating the dips again. Okay, it is not going anywhere, right? It already hit the that's the same exact level I was looking for, the March 2019 prices. So the next pump, it could go all the way up to the May 2018 prices, or even up to the you know exactly May 2018 prices, right around like a 4,000. But you just got to let it consolidate for the next like a probably few weeks, okay, during the next alt season, and we could get to like a 4,000 range. Hey, what's up, Hamza? Thanks a lot for tuning in. So let's go ahead and take a look at LCX. I think I got a LCX chart also, right? That's US dollar. So guys, don't forget to hit the likes. So LCX, I think it pumped on that Coinbase edition, if I'm not mistaken, right? So support, it is most likely going to be all the way back down to the bottom right there, just to be safe, right? It already dumped a lot, nearly, guys, like let's say 60% down, right, to the bottom, right? If we retest the bottom, it'll give it like 90%, retracement, right? 90% dump. So keep an eye on the previous support right here, just like WAXP BTC, right? So that range of 60 to 70 all the way up to you know 80 sats going to be the potential bottom support. Okay, the volume is decreasing, so that's the good news, right? While we're dumping, so if we get there, it means like bang, resistance going to be all the way up to 400 to 500 sats. Right now we right around like a 300 sats, right? So just give it time. It could move sideways for the next like a few weeks and all that good stuff. Okay, if we do retest the bottom, it could give us a nice parabolic move over the next like a few alt season. It could take like 1, 2, or even 3 alt season to get back above those levels. But the most important is like if we get the parabolic move, you know exactly what to do, right? Not financial advice, but it'll be like bang, I got to reaccumulate at the bottom again. Thanks a lot, Tels. Hey, what's up, HR? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi BTC pumped last month, right? So it pumped last month. So if you recall our analysis a couple months ago, right, when Wi-Fi was at the bottom, what we said was like, keep an eye on it, right? It could basically reverse. However, if we dump lower, we could be retesting the lower range support right here, right there. Okay, so it just dumped like slightly, just retested the absolute low right there and pumped to the upside. Versus BTC, it is not even that bearish, in terms of wave analysis, right? Not indicator, not in terms of indicator. It could just get this flat correction right here and push much higher up to the 1.6 BTC right there. 1.5, 1.6 BTC. If we can basically hold support at zero point 0.6, okay, 0.58 to zero point 0.6, that could potentially give us a big move to the upside. I know most people only pay attention to Wi-Fi USD and all that good stuff, but got to pay attention to Wi-Fi BTC. It has a very nice chart, but just be cautious, right? Even though it could basically double bottom right here and push higher, we will need to watch our MACD on our 3D basis because price action is below the 211 EMA. Okay, so it is losing steam. So until we get back above the 211 EMA, if we get a breakout above the 211 EMA, most likely our MACD right here will flip what bullish. If we don't, we will have to dump all the way down to the bottom again. Okay, all the way down to the bottom again. But the ultimate resistance is going to be 1.5, 1.6 BTC. Okay, which is going to be a nice, nearly 3x, right, from current level. 2.5, 2.5, 2.8x, right? All right, guys. So that's all you guys wanted to talk about. So I'm just going to keep it short. Let's go ahead and take a look at Hex. So Hex, I think I like the Hex weekly chart. So the reason why I like the Hex weekly chart is like the MACD right here, guys. Even though we above our 21 EMA, take a look at the MACD right here. It is not very, it is not one of the pattern you want to see on your MACD. That rejection right here, right? MACD getting rejected by your signal line, it is not a good sign. Okay, it is not a good sign. So let's see in terms of Fibonacci, what could we expect? You could easily, analyze it as a five-way structure where you got your wave 1, 2 right here, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and now you could take your Fibonacci and say, hey, where could we drop at, right? Bang. Okay, we already hit 0.786 beautifully. Okay, so if we dump back down, got to respect the 0.786 all the way down to 0.888 right there versus BTC. Okay, it doesn't mean it can go up in USD, because if BTC goes up, even if it drops in USD, I mean, if BTC USD goes up, even if it drops, versus BTC, it all depends how low it will drop. You see what I'm saying? So if BTC pumps like, let's say 30%, and this guy only dropped like 10% versus BTC, it means like it pumped 20% in USD, right? Because the difference is only 20%. But down to support seems like a 50%, okay, to 70% retracement, right? If MACD doesn't, doesn't flip bullish, right? So keep an eye on support, 230 down to 120. It is a big gap, right? All right, guys. I'm just going to call it a day and make it a short live stream. Hopefully, you guys find it useful and all that good stuff, and know exactly what to look for regarding the BTC, gold BTC chart, and the PAX gold BTC chart, right? So we know exactly resistance going to be all the way up to zero point zero 0.06 up to 0.061 range. Not even sure if we will get there, but something to keep in mind going forward. If we get a strong rejection, it means like, okay, as we've been saying, a flat correction is what? A continuation pattern. So this guy could be what? A flat correction, or even a triple bottom, right? A correction right here in a dump. So it means that BTC could be breaking out above the 69K, 69K resistance and all that good stuff, or above like a 37 versus versus gold. Okay, so if you want to take a look at it in a more bullish way, you could say, okay, I know most wave analysts going to be doing something like that, which is probably correct. Okay, not probably correct, but which is feasible. Okay, they could be counting like five-way structure to the upside. Okay, but I don't think like gold will be breaking out against BTC, okay, at any given time. So that's why I'm saying like I don't see, right, PAXG BTC breaking out massively, going back up to like a zero point 0.1 BTC, okay, or point, I mean 0.17, 0.18 BTC. Okay, because if you want to count it as five-way structure, you may need to basically do something like that, 1.618 extension, and you would be looking for somewhere around like 0.12 BTC for the next like a impulsive wave to end, or start like a facing resistance. It doesn't mean it will end at 1.618. It could be all the way up to like 1.786, but just to estimate a directional move. But we will talk about it if and only if, okay, we break out above like a 0.061 range right here. We will take a look at the potential, impulsive move much higher. All right. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching.